Dude, the recording cut.
Oh shit.
We're live again. Hello, everyone. We are live again, and we're gonna see where we left off. Because that shit cut, and I don't know when it cut. But how long is this video? Okay, we do it live.
Oh.
It's a minute and 34 seconds long.
So it's like the entire video cut.
The entire video's cut. Hilarious.
Well,
well,
from the
fuck.
top.
We gotta take it from the top, I guess. Shit.
Oh
This is awful. Because it's always organic. The
Right.
conversation we have, we hold these so it's organic. I'm talking to you guys.
We just catch them up on it.
Right. But it's tough because now I can't have all the same dialogue and explain as much, it feels like.
True.
Okay. Short story short, because you guys missed the short story long. AVP 2, fuck. This is tough. This is really tough.
Well, we started off by talking about how it's okay, it's not the best, and we preferred the way the first one was.
Right. So
or
we're
you did.
gonna skip.
I like this one a little. Just I don't know if I like it more, but I do like it.
Right.
For what it is.
Okay, yeah, short story short, let's see. And this fucking sucks. You guys are getting, like, gypped. We just had, like, a fucking 30-minute intro about the philosophy on, like, how these characters are, how do people treat them, what do you expect from these characters, all this different shit. And I'll tell you what, if you guys really need it, if you're like, because the synopsis was like a 30-minute conversation on people's expectations for what does Alien mean to them, what does Predator mean to them, right? Well, Predator is supposed to do this. Alien's supposed to do this. It's supposed to be this character because in my head, that's what this character is, what this character does. So boom, bada bang, boom, boom, that's what we expect. As a fan, you're entitled to that, but we went into the details of, like, what that means. If you want all that juice and sort of a recap and all that stuff, let us know. Truly. No one ever puts comments or likes or whatever, not normally anyway. But in general, if you're watching this and it's like, I really want that juice, let us know. Because we can go back and
It was basically just that, like, Aliens fans want smart Alien and they want horror, and Predator fans want the Predator being a badass and cool and honorable and liking 1v1 fights when he's a dickhead.
Right. Essentially. And it's like, and a lot of those don't get expressed
actually, well. So, yeah.
I went into, like, is that expressed very well and everything else? And what does that mean for these movies? Because these movies are crossovers, and how can everyone get what they want? I feel sick, dude, about, like, not getting them the whole juice. But that's why I say, you guys really want it? We can reshoot it. Truly. If enough people are like, no, we need that. We want that shit. Most of you probably aren't even going to care because it's like, AVP2 sucks. Whatever. Move on. But if you really like it, let me know, and I'll take it from the fucking top and actually truly dive in again. But it's going to be difficult right now because all the juice is lost. It needs some time to build back up. But picking up where we left off pretty much is this movie plays out in the first half like a fucking slasher film. Which is fine, but that doesn't do anyone justice, right?
Does me justice.
A lot of the characters are pretty much okay, but not great. A lot of them don't feel organic, and we talked about, and the entire organicness of a character and how one-liners and expressing a character's personality through actions and through, dialogue in the moment that matters contextually is a way better way to do that than trying to put these weird cheesy things of, like, yeah, looking for work. I'm behind my brother's bin. Well, I see him a lot more than I've seen you. Oh, you're a cop. That means you see him all the time because he's I used to be in the back of this thing. No shit. Like, so stuff like that, just how the characters weren't necessarily, like, expressed very well. But they were pretty good for, like, a slasher film, and that's what this first half was. But then going into the later half is where we were progressing in that fashion. So going into the second half of the movie, maybe the last 40%, it really kicked up. The action went through the fucking roof. Predator starts doing some badass shit. But was it really cool? Like,
yeah.
But really, like, was it like, oh my god, that's what we've been fucking waiting for?
He's just sitting around shooting people with the plasma gun, right? He wasn't even showing off that much of his own gadgets, like in the other movies. They show off a bunch of different Predator gadgets.
Right. He didn't show anything special.
Yeah.
Like, the aliens didn't do anything cool. There was no, like, unique alien colony or an alien thing that was super interesting. So
They made the Predator alien.
yeah, but that's so we gotta get into that too because we didn't even talk about that. I think that was cool actually. I don't know why the fuck it was invisible in the very beginning. Like he couldn't see it on thermal. Um, but whatever. It was just cool, but it didn't do anything. Like that's why I'm wondering like why.
Wait, did it go invisible?
Not invisible, but in the beginning he couldn't see it on thermal because he saw one of his friends getting stabbed in the chest, but he had to change goggles to see the
All
alien.
right.
And I
Maybe
was
they're
like,
not. Maybe they're cold-blooded.
maybe. Um,
No, because in the first AVP, he was able to see them, right? In infrared.
right. So I don't know, right? Um, shit. So yeah, why did they do that? I guess is my biggest thing. If you're gonna do something cool like that, it needs a purpose. You gotta think critically about what is this gonna do for the character. Like what does this truly mean, and why is it interesting? We didn't get none of that. The whole movie. We got no reason why Predator Alien hybrid was cool. And it just we got like it's aggressive. It's an alpha male. Like it told the other ones, "Hey, leave." No, we got something cool that I've been fucking complaining about since like Alien 1. Why the fuck do they have this stupid interbreeding stage with the fucking face hugger? That's the dumbest shit I ever saw in my life. They got rid of that.
Yeah, he can
He,
just
he
straight
evolved
inject
to just
people.
straight to eggs, straight to more dudes, and there's more than one per body. I said, let's fucking go. Um, that
Right.
shit was good. That shit was actually good. Because I've been fucking complaining about that forever. Let's take it to the top. Since we're restarting, and there was, I think that's a good way to do it. Because I haven't even opened the notes. We had like a full discussion without the notes because there was a lot to dive in. What does Requiem even mean? Like the end, final, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Because they put Requiem on every fucking sci-fi film sequel ever. And I'm getting sick and tired of how overused that word is. Let's see. Why do they keep biological things in
An
liquid?
act or token of remembrance.
Weird. Act or token of remembrance. That makes even less sense why the fuck it's on every sci-fi movie forever.
This one's confusing. A mass for the repose of the souls of the dead.
Interesting.
No, that's fucking Catholicism, like a requiem, like a fucking. Oh, we're getting together. Okay. Um. A musical service or composition in honor of the dead.
I don't know. So that's why maybe like it just sounded cool like way back in the day, and people just been putting it on
Probably.
movie titles since then.
Maybe.
Movie and
There's
game
gonna
titles.
be a lot of death in this movie.
Maybe.
Yes.
I did think that was funny that they put that shit on fucking all games and media. It's just there for nothing. But why do they always keep biological things in liquid? The Predators had the fucking facehuggers in liquid. They're gonna die.
No, it was that breathable liquid.
That's what I'm. Jesus. That shit. Do you see what I mean? That's fucking ridiculous. That breathable liquid. Is that how far we have to stretch our mind? Because it's at least in the ones
It's
they
like
do
a
it with.
Bacta tank in Star Wars.
Well, they do it in humans, right? They at least put like the mask on them, the oxygen mask on like the human test subjects. But every other
Sure.
fucking thing, they just put all these science experiments in liquid when they're still alive. I'm like, what? This doesn't make any sense. You're not like embalming them, like that's like when you put like something like an eyeball in a jar and you're keeping it there forever to keep the liquid so it doesn't dry out and die. It's just interesting. It's like a sci-fi thing they always do all the time.
I mean, that exists, the breathable liquid.
What?
Yeah. I forgot what it's called, but you can it's expensive, but it's literally a liquid that you can fill your lungs in, and it's still fucking you're breathing inside the liquid.
The oxygen content must be through the fucking roof.
Yeah.
Because that is something that people talked about, why we can't breathe underwater and gills and everything else. Because they breathe oxygen the same way we do, and it's a similar process. But the way the gills are, it's because they're flat, and the surface area is huge compared to like their body.
Yeah.
So that if we wanted gills, they'd have to be like half the size of our body, and we'd have to be like constantly touching. Because all they're doing is taking out. And so I guess technically, if that's how it worked.
Perfluorocarbon. It's oxygenated perfluorocarbon.
Huh. It is oxygenated though, and that's why I figured it had to be some heavy, dense oxygen liquid for it to be able to absorb through your lungs in enough quantity to keep you alive.
Perfluoro. hexane. Oh my god.
Imagine you're the
There's another one.
motherfucker who had to test that. Hey, we think this should be able to breathe. Go ahead and just jump in a fucking tank and breathe.
Animal submerged in this liquid can still breathe normally.
I guess they would do animals first. That makes sense.
This unique property may be applied to medical applications like liquid ventilation, trickle. Yeah. So I said I want to try that shit once.
Fuck that, dude. Too scared.
It
I
says
would
it's like
never.
really uncomfortable initially, and then you get used to it, and then after you finally get out, it's also uncomfortable to start breathing air again.
Fuck that, dude. No way. Too scared. Um,
But yeah,
so this was directly after the first one, which I thought was interesting. Because I went off on like how the first
right, you were gonna hate it if it was gonna be. Right
yeah, I was
after.
like, what are you gonna do? How can you really do that and have a good, meaningful, believable story? Well, fucking, they just crash land to Earth immediately after. Good enough.
Good enough.
So hey, it worked, you know.
I really thought we were gonna see the girl again, and she was gonna show up and save them all. I was like, nah, it's too soon. She's still in Antarctica.
Right. The kid lost his arm, or the dad loses
Yeah.
his arm in front of the kid, and the kid just died. That was cool in the beginning. I was like, whoa.
I said, what? I was like, dude, at first, that's probably why I started to like it a little more, is because at first I thought the kid was gonna get away. I was like, oh, somehow the kid's gonna fucking not, evade all these aliens. He's not gonna get fucking turned into, and then immediately facehugger. I said, okay.
Right. They did a few things that shocked me. Like when they killed the fan service at the very end. I was like, holy, you can do that?
No, you can't. That's why the movie failed.
Maybe that's why, right? People say, movie sucks, fan service didn't make it out.
She had no lines. Fuck her.
Damn. She really
didn't
didn't
do a
have
damn
like,
thing in the movie.
She did not really contribute at all, except for the tits and ass scene. At least in most slasher films, the other, like the main chick who
She turns into a badass, but
Right,
we already
the main
had a female
chick either-
badass, so she stayed the tits and ass.
right, she either makes it out alive or she dies in some way early that's funny and comedic because we knew it would happen, right? But yeah, they made her seem like she's a co-star with the young kid,
Right.
and then she's getting out at the end, right? But then it's kind of subverted that, which I thought was pretty funny. They did a few things like that, which is pretty cool. Let's see.
I wish the female badass.
Oh, the filter. We talked about the filter.
Yeah. Yeah.
You guys missed some of that. The
The
there's
horror movie filter.
Yeah, there's like a filter throughout most of the movie, if not all of it. That just looks a little weird. Not bad, but I wonder if you guys noticed it. You know, I noticed it, and I was like, I wonder how many people noticed that, or did they care? Because I didn't seem to care. I was like, yeah, I noticed it. Worth mentioning, but it didn't affect my enjoyment necessarily. Talked about the shitty boyfriend. Fucking awful, by the way.
Well,
Yeah, that character was terrible. Super duper prick though. Military lady, because you have to have someone fight the alien. Let's see.
Did you watch it with the lights on or off?
Off. I usually watch all these with the off.
Okay. Well, it says, the excellent example of color correction in horror movies is when the director uses a dark look by lowering the brightness in post-production. This creates an eerie atmosphere for viewers for watching at home with their lights off.
Huh.
I don't know. Maybe it's because I always see like cheap horror movies with that filter on that I just associate it with being cheap. Cheap
It's
looking.
possible. Yeah, if it's overused in a certain context, you just associate it mentally with that context.
Yeah.
Makes sense. I mean, it was like a cheap slasher film throughout most of the movie anyway.
Right.
Pretty well written, not terrible. When I say cheap, it doesn't mean bad.
I think it's fine. I think it's a fine. It was a fine slasher movie.
Right.
Not a great action movie.
Right. Predator got shafted, which is people are fucking scraping for that, which I think is
He
funny.
didn't do shit till the last 30 minutes of the movie.
Right. Didn't do nothing. Just fumbled around the whole. I wasn't even on screen half the time.
Oh, one of the things. Why was he melting people?
Oh, that was
he came
cool.
across-
That
he
was
didn't
something
even
I
kill
thought was
them.
so cool that they. Good.
But he didn't even kill them.
Yeah, no, but you know that at least so far as it looked and what we've seen before, we've talked about in their other Predator movies that they keep their technology and things separated from the worlds they go to. So it looked like he was keeping any evidence of them from being there, but also keeping, because I think him destroying his stuff makes sense, but him getting rid of the alien residue, I think is so there's no more fucking aliens on that planet to overrun it. Because they're using that as their hunting grounds. They don't need the fucking aliens to take over the entire planet. So it was like he's under control. How do you say under like quality control? I guess for their
Something.
test site,
Yeah.
which is weird. Why they sent one guy, but because it was a distress signal, maybe he didn't know what was going on.
He was a badass.
Sure, I guess he's like the super duper predator who can handle all those things. He's that guy. He's the John Wick of predators.
Right.
When he wasn't, he got kind of beat up a few times, and I was like, dude, come on. um, but no, it was cool because the one thing they ruined about the character that I not ruined, but one thing I didn't like was how awesome that was. I said, yeah, he's getting rid of all the evidence, and then when he killed the dude who caught him, because like the fucking the one cop goes up behind him and he's like, oh shit, and he runs. He has to kill that guy now, because I was like, well, he's here for a cover-up job. Like he's not, you can't let that guy get away.
Right.
So I thought that was cool. The next scene, he had him fucking hung upside down like he hunted him. Dumbest shit I ever seen in my life. It's so out of character, out of context. Huh?
No, I just sneezed.
Oh, gotcha. Bless you.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was out of context, out of character. It was like, no, he didn't. He killed that guy because he had to. Because he spotted him. Not because he was hunting him. He does the fucking upside down skin thing when he hunts people. That's like that's their calling card. He's not there for that.
Right.
He also didn't do that with anybody else he killed for the rest of the movie. So that was just a weird
person. Oh, he killed the girl.
That was just a weird homage. They were just trying to be like, see, Predator fans, look, he did the thing.
Right.
No, he doesn't do the thing in this context. It was way cooler when he was under damage control and like concealing everything. That made his character more interesting as to why he was there. Which would have also led to interesting scenarios on how he would interact with the people. Like, for example, killing that fucking dude. It's like, oh shit, he will kill the fuck out of anyone who gets in his way. And that makes it interesting. He's not a good guy like the one in the first one was.
Right.
That's an interesting take on the character. I was like, fuck yeah, do that. But no, some of that shit just kind of fell flat. His entire character got no screen time, and when he did, it was just randomly shooting at aliens, missing. Killed a couple, but then he just, I don't know, it just was not the same. The aliens weren't interesting either. I just can't think of anything after the slasher bits were over, because that's to me when the movie picked up. That was really interesting. It wasn't bad. The action was cool. I remember like enjoying my time with it. I was like, yeah, cool action stuff. They're doing stuff, But I don't remember thinking like the excitement I had in the first one when I was like, yo, fucking underground temple, and they have him here to breed him for like a ritual when they fucking like coming of age or test. I don't know what it's for, but it's for something cool.
So we haven't seen like an attack on a small town, right? Before in any of these movies, so
which was cool, but also not interesting
for both of it. Yeah,
I guess.
Oh.
It was cooler when it was a slasher bit, not the end. I did like the ground zero at the hospital. I thought that was cool. I would have liked to see more of that, because it would have
see more aliens popping up during that scene and people fucking panicking and how they fucking dealt with the alien.
Which one?
When they were in the hospital and all the people were fucking like being injured.
Oh, when the doctors were there?
Yeah.
Got you. Yeah, no, it would have been cool if it took more of a focus, because that gives us something concrete and interesting to think about. Like, the aliens took over the fucking hospital, and then we show their new breeding methods, and their new this, and their new that. And then it's like, well, what are the people going to do, right? And then you give them some arbitrary-ass reason, like the fucking chopper, that we have to get in there, in that building. Well, the Predator's been trying to get in that building the whole time. And it's like, then you can kind of have this weird thing where like they're both trying to get in there or something. Make it this unique apex of the story, so we don't just bounce around from random diner to someone's random house to somewhere else. All these locations that they spend a lot of time in don't really have as much meaning. They build this small town vibe, I guess, but the small town vibe only works in slasher films. This evolved into an action film at the end. So you kind of undercut some of those things that would be interesting by building all that by having it be an alien film, I guess, with a bunch of them overrunning the town, and a Predator film too. Like, I don't know. It maybe would have been better if there was no Predator. Honestly, if this was Aliens 3, it'd be a better movie.
Okay.
Because realistically, it's interesting, right? Aliens get here, and they slowly start killing people, and you have a fucking slasher film, and you have all these things, and it's like, you have all the relationships between all the small town people, and how do they react because the aliens are here? And it's like, well, fuck, I'm your hometown buddy, and I'll never leave you. And then all of a sudden, bam, fuck you, bitch, I'm out. It's like, what? Those all those moments are kind of interesting, but the Predator has to be there. Well, he is there, so his interaction needs screen time. It just feels a little cluttered, and neither one was very interesting.
Right. They
Um,
do a good balance of both of them.
right. And for as much as people bitch about the first one, it did a great balance for both of them. Um, so I just
They're
yeah
both there from the beginning. So
yeah they were both
uh,
there. They were ready to go. They have reasons for being there. So this one had pretty good reasons for being there. So that's fine. Reason enough anyway.
maybe they want to do
Um,
more of that tracking shit with the Predator. I don't know. And he was like tracking the whole time.
yeah. He did have the coolest fucking moment in the world when he was in the sewers, and they were doing the fucking. He laid the trap and screamed and brought them all into the trap. That
Yeah.
shit was fucking awesome. So like, cool. Yeah, do more of that. Show more of his hunting stuff. If you want to do like more hunter style, because now he's actually hunting worthwhile prey and not just random ass humans who can't defend themselves. So like that would have been cool, but you know, we had too much time with the humans to get enough of that.
Right.
So like that's the hard part. You have this entire slasher film being
Make
written
the
for the
humans more
alien,
interesting
and then the
if you're gonna do
predator
that.
has to do his stuff. What'd you say?
They all seem like tropes. A lot of the humans, if they were just more interesting, maybe it would have worked out better with the plot that they had. Um,
Maybe.
so I was
Um,
like kind of disinterested by the end.
right, right. They are almost like throwaway characters, but it's like, oh, whatever happens.
We didn't learn anything about the main guy besides what we already knew at the very beginning.
Right,
And then the cool badass girl from the military. Well, she was a cool badass girl from the military that wanted to keep her daughter alive.
right. That's all
Uh,
you got. um, no, that makes sense. And like you said, we didn't get so much cool technology. I like the DNA scan. That cool DNA scan thing he did. Um, in the beginning, the predator like picks up the DNA from the goo vat, and
oh
then he
yeah.
puts it in his thing. So now he has like genetic structure, so he can help analyze what the fuck those things are and add it to like his little scanner. That shit was cool. We got some of his cool tech, but um, let's see.
You know, like
Um,
when the guy picked up the alien's gun.
I don't know. It was okay, but the gun was
Immediately
fucking
said,
stupid. By the way, I don't know what
"Yeah, I don't like the
like.
alien gun."
The predator got two guns in the beginning, which I thought was funny because he's getting like ammo and shit. I said, did he just not come prepared? Why the fuck didn't he already have all the guns he would need? But whatever. He's just getting overstocked. I was like, cool, whatever. He's just getting more guns, sure. But I did think it was weird that he was doing that. But then halfway through the movie, he just fucking rips the guns off his shoulder and gets like a pistol that takes like a 10-second cooldown charge to shoot 2 bullets against a horde of people. When you had double arm mounted cannons that can shoot in rapid succession? No
Yeah.
idea. No fucking idea. I just, yeah, I don't get it. I don't know if they wanted him to be less OP, but write it better than that. Maybe, did he fall? Maybe I missed something. Maybe he fell and he broke his thing or chipped his shoulder and one of the guns was broken. Because he
His
did,
gun
like,
fell or
pull it
something,
apart
I
and
don't
put it back together. I don't know. Yeah, I don't. Let's see. There are a lot of people. Yeah, that was. I asked midway through the movie and reading the notes here. There was a lot of people who got introduced and had nothing to do with the alien or the predator. I said, "How long is this movie?"
Man, the one dude didn't. The main guy and the sheriff didn't see the fucking alien or the predator for the longest time, even
Right.
though they were dealing with the all the
Half
shit
the
that was
fucking
happening.
story, yeah, was them not interacting with the alien or the predator at all. So I
Right.
was like, "What is this about?" But that's why I say it feels more like a slasher film because they don't interact with the bad guy until like halfway through when they finally see him for the first time after they caught him murdering somebody. Then the chase scene starts, and the second half is the chase. Um, so yeah, it was just interesting. Let me see, where do we go? Because now I'm trying to follow the notes here because there's so much of the organic was
Yeah.
fucking cut and lost to history. The world will never know. So now let's
The
see.
Fire Nation attack.
Um, we did the trap. Classic horror movie, tits and ass at the pool. Um, why are those
Okay.
dudes even there? The fucking
Uh.
who prompted the ex-boyfriend to go
Oh, I
there?
assumed he followed her because she just broke up with him, right?
Oh, that makes sense. He was that kind of douchebag too, so it's not out of the realm of possibility. Um, let's see.
Well, his boys weren't like, dude, get over yourself, man.
No,
uh,
because they're like support him to the death. He's like the main
right.
guy.
Literally
Um,
to the death.
literally to the death. Actually, that's funny. Um, One thing that was weird wasn't he Predator was fighting the thing at the big power plant and then just shows up at the school. How close is that?
It took him a while to get
It's a
there, right?
small town, but like the next scene after fighting the dude at the plant, he's just at the school. Not a huge
Hmm.
deal, but um,
He brought his mega teleporter.
right. Um, Fucking stoner dudes, hilarious. Um, I did make a joke when the fucking Predator is shows up at the baby wing and he's
Oh,
like creeping up behind the babies. I said, "Ooh, the ultimate apex predator alien stalks the fucking babies." I was like, it looked so stupid.
I thought maybe it was a joke on predators. You know, that's what we call people who abuse children.
Maybe, but they would have to be at least like 8 years old. I mean, I don't think no one's going to the fucking infant wing and banging babies.
I don't know.
I mean,
I've heard some bad stories about some people.
maybe I don't
Uh,
want to go there. Oof, I don't want to think about some crazy fucked up shit like that. But yeah, no. But then he's like looking for the pregnant people because then he can
right,
smell their pheromones or some shit, and it's like,
sure.
oh, I can put babies in that. Cool, I can use them for this, my species and shit. I was like, okay,
But
cool,
they can do that in regular people too.
right. Which is why I didn't quite understand it. But I thought it was neat if they would have done better with that. But
There was
also,
more of them coming out of
I
her,
was about to
but
say, right, maybe it's because they have the bigger belly, they can get more.
maybe.
Because he did that to the one lady in the diner. Her
Yeah, we
stomach was
only
ripped open.
saw her get multiple babies, right? The one that was
Right.
pregnant. Yeah,
So I think that may have been a plot point they were trying to tell us is that they're more fertile because the body is more like set up for that.
right.
Um, let's see. The government shit was fucking awesome. Like
Yeah.
as soon as he
'Cause
says that, I said, "Dude, he's fucking lying. There's not gonna be an evac." And then the chick says, "They're not doing that. They're worried about quarantine and damage control first." I was like, "I fucking told you." um,
she knows, listen to her.
that shit was cool because yeah, stuff like that is so cool when they put it in movies because when someone doesn't listen and it's generic, which is why or not generic, genuine. That's why I like that shit so much when the fucking sheriff said, "No, they told us we're gonna be in the center of town. They told us they'll be here," and then the fucker was like, "No, they're lying," and then they had the whole split. That shit was fucking awesome because he had an actual reason not to believe him. Like he's like, "I'm the sheriff. I trust my country. I trust this, and you're my friend, but you're a fucking criminal, and I don't know. I don't believe this, and blah blah blah." So like, he had genuine reason, whereas most movies, it's just cheap. We should go here. No, we shouldn't. Fuck that. Then they just split up,
Yeah.
and then one of them dies or whatever. It's like, no, give me some good shit. Or when characters are oblivious to like things that they should know, like
They're
somebody
both from that
there.
small town. I was about to say something like, why would the small town sheriff trust the military over the person that's in the military? But maybe the person in the military knows what they would do, and yeah, it makes more sense. Um, that
Right.
she would know exactly what they were doing rather than
So
him.
yeah, I think it's good. They'd be like some of these horror movies. They have like a pilot who just makes some decision about a plane that wouldn't make sense, or
Right,
just completely disregards like knowledge they should know to make a dumb decision.
right.
That's why everyone makes fun of them. It's like just put them logically to make those decisions. You know, and I get sometimes that becomes cheap because they always have like a stoner or a schizophrenic or like a scientist who says I have to unleash my babies and fucking lets the monster out or whatever.
I like that guy.
There's always those tropes, and you could argue those are realistic behaviors that genuinely led them to those conclusions, which caused more drama. But their personalities are so over the top. I like the subtlety of the decision making patterns that these characters made that led them to where they were going to be.
Mm.
Because it all felt natural. Um, Dude, would you see when he made the alien drink that disintegration juice?
Yeah,
That shit was cool. Um, I also thought the brother was gonna die. Um,
yeah, I thought so too.
After the fan service died, I said, "And the brother died. Oh baby!" And then he didn't die. I said, "Boo!"
Yeah, I think he should have died.
Right?
Fucking dumb motherfucker ran
It
in.
was so good. But then again, that would have left us with his older brother as the main dude left, and his character
Right.
development was kind of whack or non-existent.
I thought he was gonna self-sacrifice and let his brother fucking fly off in the fucking uh thing.
Yeah, that was also a weird thing too. He said like he left. He had no like business doing that. That didn't help
Right.
anybody. If anything, that took away their manpower. He took away one of the best guns they had.
Right.
It's like that's not helping. He's like, well, I'm going to distract him. He's trying to yell, and it's like, that's not going to bring them all over there. You think you're going to distract every single one in the entire complex? Go with them, bring your gun, and help defend them. Watch a different angle so they don't get flanked. Like, I think it genuinely was a smarter idea to stay with them, but that's also why I think it's so cool in a way. It's because in the moment, stressed, why wouldn't you think that's going to work, right?
Yeah.
Like if me and my family are getting chased by a pack of wolves, and I run off to the side by myself, or I stop running and I say, "Yeah, get me, ah!" And then like two of the wolves fucking jump on me, and the rest of the pack keeps running after my family. It's like, oh, I didn't think you could do that. you know, in
Yeah.
retrospect, you would probably laugh at that, but you fucking jackass. Like, of course they can just keep running after your family. It's like, but you don't know that. It's supposed to be a distraction. you know. So in the heat of the moment, that decision actually makes sense, for a person.
Right.
So I think it's really cool. But it's so funny how it's easy to do that though. To like look at it and say that's a bad decision. That was stupid. And then you misunderstand as like a movie watcher, like that was a dumb decision. Movie sucks. It's like no, that was the perfect decision for that person at that time in that moment with that level of stress. It was extremely, personable to what they were been doing. So stuff like that makes sense. It's so frustrating because you're like that's stupid. Don't do that. But in the
Mhm.
moment, I think if you contextualize it, it actually makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, with the way they are.
Right. So I don't know. Let's see. Did you see the alien tail whip?
Yeah.
That shit was cool too. Um, he got his moments. I think he got his just desserts. Predator did by the end of the movie. Not a lot, but a little bit. Could have been better throughout. But it's just let me finish these notes. Almost the end of the movie. Fucking sheriff died. They all got bombed. That
Right.
shit
They all
hurt,
got
dude.
nuked.
That kind of hurt my heart. I said, motherfucker, dude. He asked for it, stupid dickhead. Is what he gets. But I was like, damn it, you should have just went with them. Um,
He
speaking
knows what's
of,
best.
good,
He knows what's best. He's the sheriff.
sure. Why? I did like that throughout the entire movie. Everyone talked to him. Everyone relied on him. He was the centerpiece of all the town's discussions.
Right.
He was very important to them. So him telling them to stay there, it carried a lot of weight. But anyway, why do you think that this is always the case where the fucking cars just pile up and they're empty? Before the aliens were taking over, they said, you got to evacuate. And there was just fucking traffic. No cars are moving. It's a straight shot.
And it's supposed to be a small town, right?
Right. It's a straight shot and it's a small town. Why the fuck did someone just drive like a mile out of town and their car broke down and it blocked the roads? Then it blocked both sides of the road? Like, what do you mean? Like, why? It's just weird. Things like
Did that happen before the aliens kill people?
well, they had already busted out. So they had already busted out from the underground, but it wasn't when the town was being taken over. It was before the military was there. Because it was before the school scene.
I would assume it was somebody got out of their car because they saw an alien or somebody was dying.
But the
people
other
are
side of the
stupid,
road
though.
is open too. Like, shit, drive in the fucking gutter. Drive off the
Right.
side of the
Drive
road.
on the
Like,
wrong side of the road, right?
yeah, there's so many ways to get out. I think that it's so nonsensical how all the people were evacuating, but then the
Right.
traffic is backed up so bad. The only thing at times I'll even give that
Do
credit.
they have the military like trying to drive traffic a certain way? No, right?
No, not yet. Not at that point. Because they
Okay.
said they'll never be there in time. They said call the National Guard, and they said they'll never make it here in time. And that was when this is all happening. So they wouldn't have been there to do that yet. So they wouldn't have, because they blocked it off. Let's be honest. There's no mistake that when they got there, they fucking blocked the shit of that traffic and said no one leaves.
Right.
But before that, yeah, I did find it surprising the traffic had built up like that, because you see it in every movie forever. There's always this fucking line of traffic that's just stuck.
Yeah.
And it just don't. It doesn't make sense. I guess in a way, but I don't know. How many people are just fucking flooring it, losing their minds, and fucking fender benders, and maybe somebody did bump into somebody, and I don't know. But there's, I don't know, turnpikes, because if you look at how traffic evolves naturally, it's always on ramps. For the most part, I would say not always, but I would say 80% of the time. It's on ramps on the highway and stoplights at, regular shit. Because you have too many people and they're not allowed to move freely, so then it builds up like a buffer almost. Whereas if you're allowed to move freely, it just keeps going forever. I guess Rex can do that because everyone slams on their brakes to fucking rubberneck and see what's on the other side of the road. Um, but yeah, these things won't stop people innately, and this is a one-lane road out of the town, so they could have just slammed the fucking gas and left. There's no on-ramp from an adjacent city, where the on-ramp you're having to slow to let the people on the on-ramp get on because there's so many of you. There's not an opening for the on-ramp to get on, so somebody wants to let somebody on. They want to be nice. They slow it down. It slows everyone else behind them, which then causes the build-up over time because now you have 100 people, whereas you used to have 50. But with the slowdown, you can only fit so many cars in one space. Anyway,
Right.
that's your lesson fucking on traffic. Now for Doppler radar. But no. So yeah, traffic just didn't make a lot of sense, and even sometimes in bigger cities is when it makes somewhat sense. But even then, these incidents are isolated, so all these other on ramps wouldn't have the influx of people that would cause some of this. Not important, but I did notice it. Um, let's see. Did you see the chick at the end? She's on the King of Fighters movies and Blade Trinity.
Check at the end.
The scientist lady. She's like,
Oh, yeah.
she said the world isn't ready for this technology. And then he says the weirdest shit, but this isn't for our world, is it? What does that mean? Are they doing a sequel or
Yeah, I think they were planning a sequel.
like is but did they already
Did you
have
know her
space
name?
travel?
Did you catch her name?
I don't know the actress's name, no.
No,
Oh,
the
oh,
character.
Miss Y, I think it was.
Miss Utani.
Yeah.
It's the other half of Wayland Utani.
Is it?
Yeah.
That's his wife?
No, the company was two different companies that merged. Was Wayland Utani.
Oh, gotcha. So maybe that's what
Pretty
they were
sure.
setting up. Wayland was doing spaceships and she was doing arms, I guess.
Yeah.
Got you. Maybe
Yeah,
that's what they were leading?
Wayland
Okay.
dash Utani. Um,
Got you. Um but yeah, I tried to kind of dash through those notes. I hate doing that because then sometimes it feels
right.
rushed or the episode doesn't feel as natural as it could be. But I want to kind of cover the basis of like what happened and notable things because if I have a note, it was noteworthy at least. But a lot of that stuff is it's superficial. Once I finished reading the notes, I was like, yeah, it's a little superficial. A lot of the discussion didn't revolve around the notes. It revolved around and let's dive into it.
Oh, apparently she was gonna be the
The
main character in the third film.
huh?
Apparently she was supposed to be the main character in the third film.
Oh, cool. Um, but yeah, this movie, I want to contrast it to the first one, and that's where I want to kind of give the biggest chunk. Um, is that I think this movie was worse. I think it was actually
Hmm.
substantially worse. Um, but I also gave the first one like a fucking 9 because I truly thought it had amazing setting,
I
plot,
forgot you gave
good
that one a
characters.
9.
Um, it was just awesome. The first one was fucking awesome. It did everyone justice. You had badass predator doing badass things. You had scary ass aliens doing scary ass alien
What did I give it,
things.
a 6 or a 5?
You gave it a pretty high score.
Maybe I gave it I'm gonna get
It was pretty high. It started off pretty high. You lowered it as you normally do, but it was pretty high. It was like 8, I think, or some shit.
no.
Um,
If I did give it an 8, I'm giving the first one a 6. Maybe 6, maybe 5.8.
right. Wait.
As an action film, probably an 8.
Well, that's what the context we had it in. That was because that was what it's designed to do.
Right.
But that's where I wanted to go in with this is this idea that what the fuck do people want, right? Because for me, the first one did everything anybody would want as good as you can do it. At the time, we do want more Alien, which was fair. I think I would like a little bit more Alien, but everything else was fine. Give me more of that, just a little bit more Alien. This movie felt awful because it didn't do either character justice. We didn't see anything cool from the aliens. Like at all. Yeah, they were there, but they weren't cool. They weren't suspenseful. Their kills weren't interesting or unique or like, all that shit. They just kind of just like fucking slasher film. Hey, alien killed somebody. And they're also no-name aliens too. It's just like this fucking random. Yeah, you could say, well, there was a bunch of aliens in 2 and that's the best one. But that's because the aliens weren't important. The characters, the people, the humans in number 2 are what set that movie above. The aliens are just the bad guys. Versus,
Right.
I
The
think in
people in this movie
every.
suck. Like
Huh?
the people in this movie suck compared to the people. Like you can't even compare that.
Right. So when I was comparing the alien movies themselves, is
Yeah, no,
that
I'm just saying what you were saying. Like the reason why that one we care about the we don't care that there's a bunch of no name aliens in 2 is because the people were way cooler. Unlike
Yeah, and that's exactly what I'm saying. Is because in the first, third, and fourth, and fifth, the alien by himself, itself, I guess, is the fear. It's like that's supposed to be the scary bit. Is the alien the one? And then yes, they have kids or whatever, and there ends up being more by the end. But for the most part, the alien by itself, and when it grabs somebody in the darkness, that's the scary bits. That's what makes the alien interesting. Is itself. Number two was different because the characters were so fucking well written that having multiple aliens fit fine. But we didn't get either one. So as an alien film, we didn't get any cool individual alien good shit. Even the Predator alien themselves, which is supposed to be the alien, I guess, to stand above the rest, did not get anything cool. There was not really any screen time where I was like, wow, that really mattered to me. No, it's fucking just a monster. So like they didn't get anything they wanted. Predator shit the bed for the entire movie until the end, and that wasn't enough to bring it back. He had these cool ass moments, but it wasn't enough to bring me totally back on like, all this stuff. And it was like, so neither one got what they wanted. So how do you do that, and what do people want? I think that's the bigger, to try and cap all of it off, right? Is like, if this is the finale, I guess it is, well, maybe we'll get another one day. But if I think the first one was fucking awesome, it was like the best shit you could ever want because it kind of personifies aliens and predators fighting, which is the whole fucking point. How do you do any better considering it seems to me this one was worse? Because you didn't get those things. How do you give Alien moments? How do you let it organically evolve in the situation, right? Whether it's taking over a place, it's having kids in this area, it's building some sort of like infrastructure that's dangerous and growing and we have to stop it, while simultaneously having the Predator show off how cool he is, his hunting skills, all this other shit, taking on badass fights. And then people have to be there, I guess. I think you could, we talked about it last time, cut the fucking people out and the movie'd be fine. Right. But how do you do both any better than what the first one did? Because this didn't do it. This did not give us anything juicy from either one of the Alien or Predator. So what do you do? Because for the people who hate the first one, right? It's the first one fucking sucks, second one fucking sucks, so it all sucks, right? So if everything sucks, what do we do? How do we fix it?
Not sure.
Neither am I. And that's why I say the first one is the best you're going to get. Because it's awesome. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't know. You know how you fix it? I'll tell you that. Here's how you fix it. Again, remove the people. Predator goes in to take out a fucking alien nest. That's it. That's all you get. And that's all you need. The Predator, whatever, give us some subtitles. Predator finds out, hey, there's a fucking alien nest over here on one of our planets that we use or something, or one of the aliens escaped one of our containment facilities, and it's about to start breeding out of control. We have to go stop it. And then boom, he goes, and he's fucking fighting aliens. And there's a bunch of them. So he's tracking them, hunting them, taking them out. Just one Predator by himself, one man, alone, betrayed by the country he loved. And he's just fucking fighting aliens the whole time. That'd be cool, because then you can give the alien time to surround him, time to be cool and sneaky and run around the pipes, whatever their complex is that they're living or taking over. You could put people in there. I guess if you're going to put people in there, you could do it in like some sort of complex, right? But if the people are in there, you're going to have to give them screen time and make them interesting. You don't have to, but they're going to. But if you didn't do that, it'd be cool. Just put a bunch of losers in there. Put it in a fucking office building. The Empire State, right? Aliens take over the fucking Empire State Building. And then, Predator has to come in and wipe them all out or something cool. That sounds fucking awful. That was the worst thing I've ever said. Because it's just stupid. They're not going to just take over one building. Also, it's one building. How cool can it be to have them exploring and creating these unique environments for Predator to explore and to navigate using his hunting skills while the aliens, it's their home turf. There's ways to do it. But ultimately...
So we got it. We get Ripley. We get Schwarzenegger.
Oh, God, stop.
The military has quarantined a fucking city that is infested with aliens and predators. Schwarzenegger and Ripley are hired to go in and fucking
take them out?
Kill them.
Bro! All of them. All the aliens and all the predators. Fucking... Holy, why does that sound like I'd like that, though? Like...
So make Arnold Schwarzenegger kind of like sexist, but then by the end he respects Ripley. There you
Right,
go,
right.
perfect.
It could work, and make her be like some super strong bitch, but then she kind
Right,
of respects him by the end too.
right.
So they're both like way too strong-willed.
Yeah,
I would watch
they
it.
got to work together by the to fucking
Right.
complete
This
the
is my
task.
mission. I know what they're like. This is my mission. I know what they're like. And then they have to do overlapping skills.
Yeah.
So like there's your skill set doesn't work on aliens. It only works for predators. Your skill set doesn't work on predators.
Right.
Fucking stupid how good that sounds. It was a government testing facility. So like this they had them all housed in there
Yeah.
and they were running like tests on them. They had them it's like a how do you say an island. It's a full
Yeah.
island where they were having them hunt each other for tests and all this other shit. So it seems natural for them to like coexist or live in that way. To have like 10 predators and 100 fucking things or whatever. Still sounds bad. But good though. It sounds like good enough to be bad, bad enough to be good.
Good enough to be bad.
Right.
Wait.
No, bad. Yeah, the other. But yeah, I just think that's why I don't know. That's why I think the first one was awesome. It really just kind of encapsulated everything that you wanted. It was like we got them here. They're breeding. They're doing stuff. Almost what I was talking about. You had a situation where the humans didn't matter. They didn't do anything cool. They were just there for fucking alien eggs, and those two fought it out. So that's I don't know. I don't know what anybody wants. This is so stupid. We're going back in circles, so I'll probably wrap it up here. And I hate that we missed some of the intro because a lot of this was covered in the intro. So now it's like I don't know how to rehash it because I don't know what everyone missed or what they might or might not understand logically how this
Right.
conversation has progressed. For what I mean, yeah, like Predator fans who just I think Predator fans were happy with the first one, which makes sense. He was shown to be cool. Um, I don't know. None of the honorable. He's so most honorable guy in the whole world. Shit. Well, those kind of fans are never going to be happy. I think because no one ever does. He never does any of that in any of these movies. So I don't know why they're not pissed. Alien fans are pissed. The aliens are so incredibly smart. They're so
Maybe
incredibly intelligent.
They're deluded. They think he's being honorable all the time.
Maybe that's it, right? And that's why I say they just have this image that he's just always honorable all the time. All predators forever are the most like saints and best hunters in the world. And then all alien fans think that all aliens are the most intelligent beings that have ever lived. So like how can you make them both happy? Like I just don't think you can. Cuz like, fucking alien, it's just a bad guy. It's just a bad alien. It makes eggs in people and goes and kills
I come
everything.
down on this one because I did come into it going I liked it more than the first one, but I take it back. I was like, you know what? I hated the main guy, or not hated him, but I just like you're a little much, dude. And,
Right.
there's just the random one-off characters that had personality that I liked.
Right. Yeah, no, definitely all this like the side characters like the boss and the stoner dudes, hell even the bully at least had a personality. Um the cop had a pretty good personality. He was well done. Uh they had some good characters, but overall it didn't until the end. The cop came full circle, but a lot of the characters didn't matter. I think it was cool how the characters kind of played along and played into the first one, but they never left their lane. They were all unimportant, every single one of them, and that was the whole point. Because they think they're important, they think they're hot shit. The chick who brought all the guns, the fucking exploration lady, they all thought they were hot shit. And then the aliens and Predator get there, and all they can do is fucking run and hide, and get turned into fucking eggs, which is cool. That's what you want. We're not there for the people. We're there for the action. So I think that to have all these characters and have this entire half of the movie be like a slasher plot and have all these people, it was even more in depth than a regular slasher plot, to be honest. They had more character development than you would expect, or tried to have development. It didn't really develop, but at least they were trying. And I just don't think it works. It's like, no, it's not. It's just the people are supposed to be just subservient to the plot that gets us the alien and Predator fighting. That's all they're there for. We need a way to get Predator, or even then, we need a way to just get alien eggs. That's it. How do we get more aliens? And the Predator goes and hunts them. That's all we need. So the context for the people in this, having half the movie be set up for these characters' personalities and small town life and all, none of that shit mattered.
It doesn't pay off.
Yeah. So it's like that's the problem with the second one is they tried to do this thing and it just didn't work. And it's like, well, Yeah, but I think it's this arbitrary notion that fans bitched about. It needs more Alien. That's why it was bad. But it wasn't bad. It was perfect because you make absurd comments like that, or how do you say it, out of pocket. It's not so absurd because we both. I think we and you both agreed it did need more Alien in the first one.
Right.
But you can't just out of pocket say that. You have to explain it contextually. On no, everything was great. This could have been done a little better, whatever. But overall, it was good. Just give me a little bit more time, a little bit more suspense of the alien chasing the predator
Right.
around.
Right.
Because also we got multiple predators too, so predators
We got
could die.
three. Right.
I didn't mention that too because I
We
always
get
had
that
this
in this
image of
one,
one
yeah.
predator when I
There's
did my
one predator took out an army of fucking aliens.
right.
I can
That
see
was
why
with
I
the
can upset some alien fans.
that was with the
Uh,
guns.
yeah.
Which the guns are they kind of ruined in the first one. He got the gun and then it was over. But that was also
Right.
kind of cool because the whole plot was him trying to get the gun,
Yeah.
and then he finally gets it and he can fight. But even the queen is immune to the gun, which is cool. Or at least he broke it. I don't know how he didn't do it with her at the end, but it was cool because that's cool. It adds more suspense, interesting drama. So like that's what makes it cool is him hunting them without his super badass weapons, or else when he gets them, they're not going to be cool anymore. So multiple, yeah. But one thing I missed with my idea on like a new movie, kind of what can you do to make it better? It does need multiple predators, because 5, 10 predators, awesome.
I think even just one predator, but don't have him like have the gun. Just make it one of the guys on the ship that like crash landed and he got away.
Well, then they
Uh,
can't. Not for this movie. I meant for in general,
oh,
because
okay,
when
yeah.
you have the one, he can't lose.
Right.
You're never gonna get such satisfying stuff as the aliens ripping those fuckers in half when
Right.
in the first
Right.
one.
Right.
Than if you only have the one. So I definitely think you need plenty of aliens, which means you need plenty of humans or something to give them eggs, unless they're just already established to be there, which would be great. And you need like a hit squad of predators. Then you can truly have this action excitement where the predators win and lose and fall back, and the aliens fall back, and they're trying to do different strategies, and like it's a back and forth battle of shit. Um, that was cool, man. That's what makes it cool. And the first one did that pretty well. This one didn't do that pretty well, but it's all because everyone got what they wanted without context. More alien. No, you got to think about these things. That's what I'm gonna end it because I'm getting kind of tired too. It seems like.
This
Um,
episode's missing one final thing. It doesn't have a Dark Knight reference. This movie came out the same year as Dark Knight.
oh God, propaganda. We'll cut it out. We'll edit that out. Don't worry. I got you guys. You fans, you're not have to hear this propaganda, this Dark Knight. But yeah, I think that's overall what I would say is this just seems like this movie kind of suffers from people complaining about what they wanted without context or without giving a suitable explanation or even a suitable way to fix it. And then we just get this average ass movie that the direction doesn't seem to give anybody what it wants. I don't think Alien fans are happy. I don't think Predator fans are happy. So nobody's happy. Whereas the first one, I think everybody could be happy if Alien fans would just calm down a little bit and appreciate the moments they got. Even they could be happy. It's okay to want more. I wanted more Alien, but the movie was still good. So it's like, your willingness to do that,
Oh, no,
I
it
think,
came
is
out
important.
2007. I lied.
Hmm?
This came out 2007. I lied.
Ha! Told you.
Came out
Propaganda.
the year before the Dark Knight. There you go.
Bro, at
Still
some
counts.
point, he's just saying, this movie came out 5 years after The Dark Knight. That's like an anniversary. It's like, what? It's completely unrelated. No, it's fine. What is that shit with the Kevin Bacon? You just start doing that for every
Oh yeah,
actor?
yeah, everything's 5 degrees from Kevin Bacon.
Yeah, everything's 5 degrees of Dark Knight. Oh, God. Anyway, I don't know what I'd give this movie. I'd probably give it a 6. I think 6. Oh, I don't know. How do you rate this movie? That's a
I'm
question.
rating it as a slasher film, and as a slasher film, it's a 7.
That's
but
fucking fair.
As a movie in general, I'm probably gonna give it a 5.2. I think that's what I'm gonna start doing now. I'm gonna do it as a genre movie. It's this, but yeah, it's just just a fucking movie. I'm just like, bah. It's like a 5.
Right,
I don't know because I did like some of those fucking characters. The one-liner guys.
right,
Maybe 5.5.
right. I think, yeah, as a slasher, I think it gets pretty big ups, right? Because it was fun. It was definitely exciting. The characters are pretty decently done. They weren't like obnoxious or terrible like some slasher film characters are.
Right.
So That was fine. The setting was cool. The small town life was pretty natural. It all felt like it was fine. The ending was not slasher at all, so that's why it's hard to rate this movie as that. But because then even then the context for like the slasher film is supposed to come to a boil with like the characters fighting against whatever was slashing them,
Right.
and we didn't get that at all. I mean, yeah, they killed some aliens in the hospital and they shot some aliens throughout, but that's just fodder. All those aliens are just fucking fodder. So like, does it really matter? Does it give you that slasher payoff? I don't think so. But the first half was pretty good. It was solid anyway. As a slasher film, as an Alien vs Predator movie, I don't think, like I just described, I don't think anybody's happy. I don't think it gave me anything from Alien or Predator that I wanted or that I would have liked. So that kind of takes it away. I don't know, but it was a fun watch. Like in general, I was not unhappy. Like I watched it and finished it and was like, man, cool.
I came out pretty good at the end of the movie. It wasn't
Yeah,
until we
I was
talked about it that
pretty
like,
happy.
yeah, right,
So yeah, I want to give it like a 7, but that's too high.
right.
Because for my general feeling of it at the end was happy. So 6.6. I think a 6 is fair. I think a 6 is fair because it's solid. It's rewatchable. I would definitely say I'd watch it again. It just suffers from a lot of things that weren't that good. There was a lot of things that just, you lose points for that. You're getting demerits. It had a bunch of demerits for all the things that it could have done, and there's no excuse. I didn't take off any points that we didn't get any more Alien in the first one because it was impossible. It already was at the hour and a half screen time limit. So, like, they did the best they could. But for this one, shit. It's modern day filmmaking. I don't even know how long it was, but you had the time. You wasted it on a bunch of character development for characters we didn't care about, who were kind of poorly written. And then, like, the Alien didn't get any cool, like, the Predator Alien didn't get any cool, unique things.
God, I forgot that stupid line. Are you looking at me or the clock?
Bro.
I
I love that one, actually. I love that line, dude.
Dumb.
I love it. Yeah, I see the way
Is
you
it-
look at me in class. I was looking at the clock. He's just trying to be
behind you.
cool.
Look behind you. There's a clock.
I love it. He thought he was so suave, and she just seen right through his bullshit. I loved it. Dude, but that's the same reason I support Annie and his fucking stupid ass lines, because they're both just awkward teenage boys and their lines are dumb. Just like the dumb shit that awkward teenage boys say in real life. So I love it, dude.
Yeah.
I'm all for that line.
Okay. Fair. He's supposed to be a stupid teenager, I guess. But...
Right? It's awesome, dude. But he's trying to be cool. He doesn't know how to be cool. So that's like, I think he's just trying to copy his brother too. You see a lot of
He's
that.
fine with his length, but I don't know. Her just being like, you looking at me or looking at the clock?
Oh yeah, when she brought it back up the second time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a bit
But
on the
it gotta come full
nose.
circle. It gotta come full circle.
Yeah, I mean, I did not like it, but it was a little, I don't know. Okay.
All right. Well,
But also, we didn't talk about the scene where the Predator kills the alien and the alien kills the Predator, and they die together in each other's arms. No homo. Definitely, I thought. Did you like that?
wait, was
that?
AVP 1 PG-13?
I don't know. I thought they had some cuss words. Maybe not.
Well, you can have cuss words in PG-13 movies.
You get like
You
I
can
think
have
3, right? 3 to 5,
Yeah, something like that. Depends on the word. You get one fuck. You get a few shits.
right? But yeah, no, I thought that was kind of dumb the way the movie ended with those two.
Yeah.
Because number one, it had nothing to do with the people. The whole thing was the people. Like it was almost irrelevant, right? Look at it from
Right.
their perspective. The people didn't even see it happen.
Right.
Like the humans who were sitting on the fucking chopper they already took off. The movie is over. They took off and riding into the sunset. That shit did not matter at all. And with the way the fight had been going, I just don't think that's how the fight ends, realistically. With like the context you gave us and all the stuff they showed and like everything you've given me so far, I don't see the fight ending like that. It was just way too fan service heavy. And it just broke my immersion. Like I mentioned earlier, I'm cool with fan service, but don't go out of your way and break immersion for the sake of fan service. Because then it just seems forced and seems kind of bad. At least in my opinion. Maybe somebody loved it. Also, it was too much of the, look, see? Nobody won. They're both equal. See? Now nobody can be unhappy because we made sure they both won. Fuck that. Stupid. Like, I don't know, that kind of half-hearted shit, I just think it sucks. Pick something. You want to pick somebody wins, whatever the context was, make it realistic? Sure. The fucking alien rips that motherfucker's head off or slices him in half with his tail. Cool. Then he dies to a fucking nuke. She got the win, like, they got the win, but then humanity survived. You can do anything you want. If people are mad, well, Predator won last time, it was cool. Predator's also supposed to win. We mentioned this before, and this is why sometimes I repeat myself. I don't know if this is
with
something.
the new lore they give, the Predator is supposed to win.
Gotcha.
And you can't go back on that lore once you've already started. So I mean,
right. And I think overall, it's like we'd mentioned this earlier. The aliens are the bad guys, and they always die in all of their films.
Even their own films, they die.
Right.
And Predator does too, but.
So I don't think, like, if you're gonna put them together, it's not this weird affront. And the alien fans, they're the reason these movies have tanked. I feel like I don't think these movies tanked at all. I think alien fans have just been spreading throughout social media and common opinion how awful they were because they're so fucking hateful that they don't get what they want. But logistically,
you gotta be larger in number too, because they fucking the Predator movies suck.
Yes, definitely they're larger in number because their movies are better. Sorry. I like the Predator movies. I'm not in like with them, but Aliens 1 and 2 are fucking tremendously great movies. Predator 1 through 2 are good. They're decent, solid action films or whatever films, but they're not amazing. They're not so great. So I have to imagine the amount of people who are Alien fans versus Predator fans is going to be higher. So yeah, but it's all propaganda. I think that's the biggest problem with both these movies is it just seems like a lot of it comes from Alien fans bitching, and then we got this fucking average movie. We could have had such a better movie if they had kept the trajectory of number 1 and made it on a bigger scale or different, right? Like, just give me number 1, but with more shit. Cool. They had the formula. The first one had the formula. It was awesome. And then we just fucking throw it out the window for this garbage because all the Alien fans are pissed. Like, come on, dude. But hey, it's what happens every time. Fans will bitch and bitch and bitch, and then they'll sabotage themselves. We've seen it with Marvel vs. Capcom. Marvel vs. Capcom, the most latest one, Infinite. Same thing. Some fans somewhere just bitched and bitched and bitched. It's casuals mainly. They're the vocal minority, or the vocal majority. Bitched about how the game was too hard, too many infinites, too much characters to learn, whatever. And they dumbed it down. And then the game flopped. You can't just listen to people bitching online. You really have to kind of look at your core competencies of what your business model or whatever is and what works and what doesn't, and try and think objectively internally about what the fuck you're going to do next. Because listening to bitchers is how you ruin so many things. So many things have been ruined by people just bitching. And then the fucking companies say, well, they're bitching. They must want this. All they did was bitch that we need more Alien, need more Alien. Look, the whole movie is Alien. Predator's not even hardly there. See? And it's like, no one's happy. All the Alien fans are still fucking bitching how terrible this movie was. Like, of course. It's uninspired. You're just fucking bowing down to people who complain. That's why this stupid SJW era is like on the decline. Because so many people bitch, and then these companies make these movies and these things for all the people who bitched. And then they still bitch because you can't please them. It's like, dude, fuck off. Yeah. Make what you want. Be inspired. Make good media. And then move forward. So hopefully we get an AVP3. It's kind of a closing thing. I think AVP3 would be cool. If they go back to their roots where AVP1 is,
well,
fine.
we're still getting a new Predator movie. We're still getting a new Alien movie this year, actually.
Right. So it's not impossible. We have new lore, revamped lore. If you want to keep it lore accurate, you don't have to. Just put them fucking together and let them fight. But yeah, hopefully they learn from this. I don't think they have, but because I've never talked to anybody who didn't do anything but shit on these movies without context. So it'll be hard to find, I think, someone who has a valid opinion, because if they don't and nobody sees it, it's going to be a commercial failure or whatever, a social failure, so they're never going to try and make another one. So I don't know. Maybe there's somebody in Hollywood, though, who thinks enough for themselves about, number 1 or even not just number 1 and number 2, the entire series as a whole, and what they can do to brainstorm to really try and bring these two together in some interesting, meaningful way. But that's all I got. So, as is tradition, like and subscribe, because engagement is good.
Leave an angry comment or thumbs down. Engagement is good.
And we'll see you in the next one.
Bye-bye.